Welcome to the Manthan platform. We are delighted to have you as a user here. Here is how each user can navigate through this.
Good morning, all participants, respected speakers, dignitaries. My apology for starting the program a bit late because, traffic congestion and morning hours seems not to be very healthy and right ambience for knowledge input anyway. But we thought it very relevant. We've got a very interesting topic with us, which is apt for the requirement of the day. G20 companies, as you know, covers most of the Asian country and some of the European Union. The commonality of these companies, these countries are that they contribute about 75% of the world trade. So that makes it very important for them and all the companies to collaborate with each other and help each other to boost the MSMEs, the SMEs in the respective companies, so that collectively, which we call them the solid citizen, solid industry citizen, because without the MSMEs, sustainable development of technology cannot happen. That has been proven. Without now wasting much further time, I request all dignitary speakers and all to please come up the stage and take their seat so that we can start the session immediately. Sir, please. Sir. Just to inform all participants about the speakers, we have Mr. Anupam Shah, who is our past chairman of AEPC and present chairman of the Technology Committee of AEPC. He will be giving the keynote address, which will be followed by a session taken by Mr. Rahul Kalshestra, who is the Strategic Alliance Division Office of PSA, Government of India. We will have then Mr. Amit Chatterjee, who is MD and CEO founder of RLACM, Partner European Business Technology Center. This will be followed by a session by Mr. R. Madan, Director, Indo-German Science and Technology Center. We'll have the last speaker, very important speaker, Dr. Sandeep Chadda, who is the Director, Italian Technology Center. So all the speakers will be now focusing on how the collaboration can happen, how the MSMEs can really speed up the development of each nation. With this, I request Mr. Anupam Shah to give the keynote address.
Mr. Rahul Kulshrestha, Strategic Alliance Division, Office of Principal Scientific Advisor, Government of India, Mr. Amit Chatterjee, Partner EBTC, and MD and co-founder RLACM, Dr. Nitin Said, Director, Indo-French Center for the Promotion of Advanced Research, Mr. R. Madan, Director, Indo-German Science and Technology Center, Dr. Sandeep Chadda, Director, Italian Technology Center, India, honorable delegates, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen. Good morning. As we all know, technology has been the driving force in shaping the world we live in today. It has revolutionized every aspect of our lives, be it communication, transportation, healthcare, education, or entertainment. In the current scenario, where the world is facing unprecedented challenges, such as climate change, pandemics, and economic instability, technology has become even more crucial to finding solutions to these problems. In this context, technological alliances among G20 nations can play a significant role in promoting innovation, collaboration, and sustainable development. Today, the world has crossed a population of 8 billion. G20 account for over 80% of world's GDP, and they have the potential to create a massive impact through their technological capabilities. By sharing their knowledge, expertise, and resources, these countries can accelerate the pace of technological progress and ensure that the benefits of technology are accessible to all. MSMEs play a vital role in our economy. Policies must ensure their cohesive participation in order to achieve any objectives and goals. The G20 countries are responsible for over 75% of global greenhouse gas emissions, and they have a crucial role to play in reducing these emissions.
Documentation in exports, logistics, freight forwarding, supply chains in exports and imports, customs procedure, direct and indirect taxes, mainly income tax, corporate tax, GST, customs related issues, export financing, letter of credit, free shipment,
I'm sorry for the break.
post-shipment
Just,
FEMA, EDPMS in foreign trade. So, visitors and members are advised to take advantage and get required assistance and services. Thank you.
through technological collaborations which are designed to cater MSMEs, the countries can develop and implement sustainable solutions for energy production, transportation, and waste management, to name a few. They can also share their best practices and learn from each other's experiences in promoting renewable energy, energy efficiency, and carbon capture technologies. The inclusiveness for MSMEs in any technological alliance are the key to promote much needed job creation and skills development. By collaborating on research and development, G20 countries can create new industries, products, and services that can drive innovation and entrepreneurship. They can also facilitate the transfer of technology and knowledge across borders, which can help in bridging the digital divide and promoting inclusive growth. Friends, I once again welcome you, and a special welcome to our key speakers who will enlighten us about the emerging scope and opportunities for technological alliances in the engineering sector. I'm also thankful to the esteemed audience which are the key players in the sector and leaders in their respective domains. In conclusion, the scope of technological alliance among G20 countries is immense. By working together, let's look forward to a wonderful and productive session ahead. Thank you.
May I request the next speaker, Mr. Rahul Kulshestra, to come up the stage and deliver his address.
Just no. So first of all, I would like to thank EEPC India to give me this opportunity to present Manthan platform in front of you. Till the time they will just set up a system, I would like to give you a little bit brief about the Office of Principal Scientific Advisor of Government of India. So this office is basically, it was set up in 1999, and the first principal scientific advisor to the country was Dr. Abdul Kalam. So after that he became president of India also. The role of this office overall is policy advocacy, and it is basically the scientific advisor to the Prime Minister and Cabinet and Government of India. And we have majorly 3 divisions right now. The first division is the PM STIAC, which is the Prime Minister Science and Technology Innovation Advisory Council. It works on multiple national missions. So most of the national missions like electric vehicle, artificial intelligence, quantum, waste to wealth mission, biodiversity, Agni. So all these missions. That you will connect. Huh? So all this mission get approved in this PM STIAC and it is launched. The second division is Empower Technology Group, which basically work with all the line ministries of Government of India on integrated approach to develop some of the futuristic technologies. The third division is the Strategic Alliance Division, which I represent, and Dr. Sapna Poti lead this division from office. As the name suggests, our role is to make alliances. We basically facilitate collaborations. We encourage collaboration. It is a very new division, just started when the pandemic hit the country. And we were looking for different kind of technologies from our research institution and startup innovation ecosystem, which can help us to fight with the pandemic. That's how this got started. So we got more than 150 plus technologies. And then we realized now how to fund these technologies. The idea has come from the researchers and innovators and startups, but how to fund these technologies. And that's where we started. We started connecting them with the industries. So during COVID, we basically commercialized many of the technologies. And whether it is ventilators, masks, the reagents which we were importing from South Korea initially, we developed with the help of our research institution in Bangalore, NCBS, CCAM, and MSMEs together, and then we exported with the platform of TCS. So that's where we started. We set up 52 hospitals in 3 months of time. That also in 18 states, having 1,000 bed. That is also coming from a technology of a startup from IIT Madras called as Modular Housing. So setting up a 52 hospital in 18 states, getting 15,000 acre of lands for that, it's a prefabricated hospital. So that's where we started, and we realized there is a lot of momentum happening between the industry and the research and innovation ecosystem, and we should continue. And the former principal scientific advisors suggested to make a formal division there. And that's how the strategic alliances division. So our role is basically to connect with industries, foundations, philanthropies, central and state governments, international ecosystem, including we work with all most of the countries, MNCs, global foundations, international agencies, bring all the opportunities from them, whether it is the R&D problem statements from the industries, whether it is basically any industry is scouting for innovation from the startup innovation ecosystem, or any kind of social impact technologies. So we also support CSR funds, so corporate social responsibility funds, which was initially were able to spend in that 2 kilometer of range and all those things. But after 2019, there is a change in the law, and that CSR can also be spent on research and development, which is aligned to the sustainable development goals. So we encourage all the CSR funds also to go to the research and innovation ecosystem in our country, and that's how we were able to do almost in last 1.5 year. We were able to do 300 plus projects and worth about 1800 crores coming from industries to support research and innovation. That's how means we had set up 15 center of excellence in research institutes, all funded by industries and foundations. So there is a center of excellence in global sanitation technology in IIT Palakkad, funded by Gates Foundation, SDFC Bank, IPMO, Toilet Board Coalition. On clean affordable energy in IIT Dharwad, which we had set up, which is funded by Honeywell, Infineon, Shellco Foundation, Lowe's, which is a US company. Air pollution related technologies in IIT Delhi and IIT Kanpur, funded by Bloomberg, CIF, Clean Air Funds, Circular Economy in Terry, funded by ICICI Foundation. So that's how we started encouraging the industry and research and innovation ecosystem. This Center of Excellence also work in a very structured manner, where we are starting. It also have 4 pillars basically. The first pillar is, if you can say, there is a pre-incubation pillar where they identify ideas related to those thematic area globally, and they shortlist some of the ideas, and in pillar 2 they incubate cohorts of startups, and along with the researchers and startups and the infrastructure facilities, they developed some of the prototypes there. And third pillar, they do testing validation, and the fourth is the scalability of those technologies, skilling and developing micro entrepreneurs. That's how all this center of excellence has been set up in last 1.5 years. We realized we should not be a bottleneck for the country, because a lot of industries started coming towards from national, international, and they said, no, we wanted to reach out to the ecosystem. And that's where we came out with a digital platform called as Manthan. Manthan had been launched on 15th August last year only. It's just a 6-month-old platform, but the traction which has got, I think, more than 1,000 crores of opportunities has come in last 6 months itself from different. So we bring opportunities with industry, we articulate with them, we take it to the research ecosystem, we help them to find the right solution partners from the ecosystem. So I will just take you in brief about the Manthan platform. This is the home page, and you can see out of 300 projects already we have a success story of 243 already there. All these are funded projects, and you will find whether it's a state government, international like USAID, New Energy Nexus India, UNIDO, Red Dot Foundation, LSB Capital, World Economic Forum, every Microsoft, Tata Chemicals, Gates Foundation, BASF, everybody has come and utilized this platform to collaborate with our research and innovation ecosystem. So this platform is divided into 2 sides. One is the demand side, which include industries, foundations, philanthropists, central and state governments, and international ecosystem. And the supply side includes researchers in the country, startup innovation ecosystem. So it is connected to all IITs and IITs, triple IITs, ISOs, AIMS, IIMs, ICARs, CSR labs, DRDO labs, and also 75,000 startups. So all incubators are there. Startup India itself is registered here. So all information goes to Startup India, and it goes to all the startups in the country. So that's how it, and plus we had initiated clusters. So with the Prime Minister Council recommendation, 7 science and technology clusters has been set up in India. They are based out of Delhi, Bangalore, Pune, Hyderabad, Jodhpur, and Bhubaneswar. Each cluster is a group of research institutions, almost 40-50 research institutions coming together, working together, sharing their expertise and infrastructure, working on the social development and industrial R&D problem. For example, we have a Delhi cluster housed in IIT Delhi, but it is a consortium of IIT Delhi, AIMS, IIIT, Ashoka, TERI, JNU, IIT Dhanbad, MDU, Delhi Metro, Mahindra, Maruti. So all coming together working on water security, AI in healthcare, solid waste management, environment, e-mobilities. So these are the kind of projects. They bring consortium projects on board industry and they do such kind of projects. This is a dashboard and you can see different kind of research institute startup. Till now 200 plus opportunities has been launched here. This has been developed with the consultation of national, international institutes. So IITs are there, Harvard, Stanford, even industrial associations like CII, NASCOM, and DST was also there. Gates Foundation, global foundation like Gates Foundation, FIND, and we have Rockefeller Foundation. So all these were the partner, and when we have developed this platform, KPMG is the knowledge partner, and they are providing us a pro bono market research report which helps researchers and startups to see what are the gaps in the market in different emerging technologies. So those kind of reports are also published in this platform, and you can see these are the opportunity providers in last 6 months, and you will find all the national, international, like Volvo came to us to find the air quality monitoring tools. And one benefit also, the MSME sectors can also apply to this opportunity if industry want. So it is for researchers, startups, and small scale industries. All the three sides. So you can find all this opportunity has come in last 1.5 years from all industries. This is also crowd-funded platform. It is funded by Act Grant, Amazon, and from Cognizant. Coming to the opportunity section, any industry can come here, whether national, it's a democratic platform. It's free of cost. Intention is only to basically help you with the ecosystem of research and startup innovation ecosystem of India. So any industry can come and launch any R&D problem statements, like if they are looking for any kind of innovation, what kind of innovation work is going on in India. So they can come and launch a call for innovation where different TRL level kind of technologies will be available. Industry market ready innovation, which generally comes from go-to-market technologies with the startups. Implementation projects where some of the technologies of startups which will be implemented on grounds, like we have implemented atmospheric air ATMs in the schools with the help of industries also. Internship scholarship from industries, center of excellence, which I already discussed, in kind like infrastructure, industry providing infrastructure collaborations to startups and researchers, and CSR projects. So these are the different kind of projects, opportunities. You can see right now also 23 plus 26 opportunities in different areas. You can filter it through SDGs wise, emerging technologies wise are open for you to apply. Even the central government, we are discussing with all the line ministries. So you will find like water department, coal ministry, and women and child development ministry, ministry of rural development, like they are looking for a cold storage. So all those problem statements are also coming on this platform, and you people, if you are a MSME, you can apply. You are startups, you can apply. You are researchers, you can apply. So this, you can see all different kind of opportunities here. The network is slow, so that's why I'm facing some issues. And similarly, you have 170 plus opportunities has been, like Airbus has come to us from France, and they said, okay, we are looking for startup innovation ecosystem in India. So we launched this along with them on our platform, and they got a lot of startups from there, and they give those startup supports in their supply chain management and their ecosystem. Similarly, Boeing also came to us. So all international industries and foundation like XPRIZE, which is funded by Elon Musk, $100 million fund for decarbonization technologies. It was launched on the Manthan platform. They collaborated with us to reach out to the whole pan-India ecosystem. LEGO Foundation has given a 1,000 crore challenge for development of gamifications for childs. So different kind of technologies can they are requiring for collaborations, whether the international ecosystem or India. We are also setting up a joint center of excellence between India and Sweden in ISC Bangalore for avionics and drones. We are setting up a joint, similarly on deep ocean mission and climate change. We are setting up a joint center of excellence with KTS Sweden and IIT Ropar. So that's how different kind of ecosystem can be reached out from this. Industry can also utilize this section as a classified R&D. Means if the information is confidential in nature and you don't want to disclose in public, you can utilize the classified R&D section. You can directly reach out to the ecosystem, and there will be a China wall where you will not come to know that information will not come to, even the office of PSA will not be knowing until and unless you come and tell about this. There is a different kind of, I can say, we got a lot of proposals and opportunities. So we have stacked in an interesting manner instead of a boring manner. So we have stacked all these proposals and technologies along with SDGs. For example, if you are interested in clean water, I will just click the clean water. I will not go in anywhere in the platform, and I will see all the opportunities on clean water, all the proposals which has come from researchers and startups related to the water technologies, and you can directly connect to the research and startups from this platform itself. You can just click, you can send them an email, and it will go as an email to them. So it's not uploading here, it's taking too much of time. So all these SDGs and emerging technologies, I can show you. We have identified 17 emerging technologies section here, like AIML, green hydrogen, and you can go to any of the emerging technologies and see what are the different kind of opportunities are getting uploaded in this. Like for example, this has come. So what are the different technologies opportunity has come in the past? Market research report, as I was saying, KPMG has given related to the medical devices. Then these are all the call for innovation which has come from Sweden, which has come from South Korea. Different kind of calls has come, and from our industry. These are the different proposals in different stage from researchers and startups which are looking for support and which are looking for collaborations. And you will also have a subject matter experts in this area. You can connect with the subject matter experts from this platform directly. So this is how there is exhibition section where you can call for exhibition for startups and researchers to look for any kind of technologies. There is an event section where you can do multiple. There is a focus group discussion where you can call subject matter experts related to those technologies and do a discussion. There is a segment on international partnerships. So as I said, lot of international calls has been launched here. We are also reaching out to almost 50 universities, top 2 university from each of the countries, to be a part on the Manthan. So we, like recently we have done with Taiwan, we have done with Australia, we have done with Finland, where all the researchers are also coming here, and you can connect with the international ecosystem along with our Indian ecosystem here itself. So you can see the subject matter experts related to the international, the opportunities which have come from international industries, foundation or government. So these are the different kind of opportunities, like Bayer coming for looking for some kind of technologies, or USA looking for some kind of technologies. So all these opportunities are open on this platform. So this is a platform, I don't know the video will run or not. It's a 1-minute video. Let me just, have you saved that video? Sound will work, no? Sound will not work, no? No issue.
The functionality available to users of the Manthan platform. We are delighted to have you as a user here. Demand-side users who belong to can navigate through this innovative and philanthropic sector promotes opportunities, events and exhibitions on the platform. As supply-side users who belong to academic and research institutes, startups, MSMEs and even grassroots innovators can respond to opportunities, submit proposals which promotes collaboration at scale between academia, startups, grassroots innovators, and industry and philanthropic sectors. The functionality available to users on the Manthan platform depends on their roles. Demand-side users who belong to industry, government, and philanthropic sector can create opportunities, events and the Opportunities tab can be used by industry philanthropic users to create opportunities.
David, I think there is some problem with the video. Uh, but you people can visit on this manthan.gov.in platform. Anybody can register. If you are from industry, register as an industry so that you get that opportunity and you will be profiled like this. If you are from research and startup innovation ecosystem, you can register like as researchers or grassroots individuals also can collaborate on this platform. Thank you. Thank you. Yes, yes. Associations can also register and can launch. Like we are working with most of the industrial association, like FICCI, CII, SIAM, PSD Commerce of Chambers, and they what they do, they sometimes bring together the requirements of their industries also, and they float it on this platform. You might have seen like a call from CII and FICCI was there on the platform. So associations also, we are doing a lot of awareness because it's a 6-month old platform, but you have seen the kind of traction is very high from national and international ecosystem, and everybody is looking for it. So, but we are doing a lot of awareness sessions about Manthan amongst the researchers also, industries also. We have connected with almost 25,000 industries till now to reach out, and we have got a lot of problem statements still. So we are slowly putting on the Manthan so that researchers and startups and MSME should not get flooded also. So that's how it is coming. Yeah, it is flooded. We means last 6 months more than 170 opportunities has come, and right now also 23 opportunities, 26 are open, and it is for everyone. Means there are sections also for women in STEMs, for school educations, for clusters, for international. So we have some focus area because women in STEM is coming as a mission from Prime Minister office. So we are also pushing those areas also, how we can support women entrepreneurs also through this collaboration. So there are a lot of opportunities, and I would request all of you to visit and register on Manthan and see how it can be utilized. Sure, sure, definitely.
The presentation, I think, through their centralized presentation will be there. No? From there, other presentation can be given from there. No? This is not required actually now. You will require. Acha, keep it there. It is. So there we can have. That's it. Thank you, Mr. Rahul Kulsestra. It has been very informative because many of us are not knowing that this type of initiative has already been taken from the Department of PSA, and it has been so exhaustive portal where a lot of information can be exchanged, ideas can be implanted, and benefit can be received. It was very fun, fantastic. Thank you. Thank you a lot. Let me request Mr. Amit Chatterjee, MD, CEO, founder, RLACM, partner, European Business Technology Center, to give his interesting deliberation. Please. PowerPoint, আছে মানে আছে দিয়ে দেবো কালকে মাইন্ডকে পাঠিয়ে দিয়েছিলাম হ্যাঁ otherwise you can put this in इनका दे दिया ना otherwise amit
Anyway, respected Chairperson Anupamji, my fellow panelists, uh, gentlemen and ladies, my friends in the audience. When I was requested to make this presentation, I was actually in a dilemma what to do because the time allotted was 10 minutes. And I don't want to extend that, and I want to keep it light. So what I will do is, before introducing my organization or EBTC, what they do, I will straight away focus on what all this means to you. I will try to frame the scope, the topic of the discussion so that you can get a picture in the frame. What does it really mean? I'm also an MSME. I've worked with big companies. I've associated with a number of small and medium companies. Today I run an MSME. So I've seen the challenges, the pains, the excitements everywhere. So let me frame it for you. And I'll keep it very simple. One slide that's essentially going to tell you, first of all, what the picture is. So let's put the picture in the context. You know, all of us somewhere forget to dream. Let me start with the opening remark of C.K. Prahlad, famous guru, management guru. He said that the battle for business supremacy is fought on 4 battlefields, starting with battle for dreams, dream. The second battle is fought the battle for resources. Technology is one of them, very vital. The third battle is for the battle for talent, people. You need to have team, good resources, good people, human resources. And of course, the fourth battle is for markets and customers. Without that, business do not exist. So technology for what? It doesn't float in a vacuum. It has to be seen in a context. So first of all, let us look at in what context we are speaking. And I would also, first of all, congratulate Anupamji and his successors who have led EPC to, very, very credible levels. I think it's around 120 billion engineering exports, covering industrial machinery, automotive components, and now venturing into high-tech, aerospace, then shipbuilding, and so many other things. So we are seeing a trend that is going up the value chain. Very, very important point, and that's where I start. So it is now, there's a time for aspirational change for all of us as leaders of MSME. We have to dream bigger. We have done reasonably well, but now it is time to play at the world stage with higher levels of value creation. That's where technology comes in. So when I say higher levels of value creation, it means that we would be going up the value chain, not making commodities, which is at low margins. Higher the value addition, more niche, more competitive edge, more bargaining power, more profit. That's the equation. And at the end of the day, we must build an identity for made in India. We should not just be suppliers. It should not be only, resources from where other companies source what they like. So we have to kind of build the Made in India Inc. brand. That's what the game is. Atmanirbharta, Make in India is all about that. And hence, technology. Now again, technology, I have tried to classify in 2 categories, soft and hard. I'll come to that. Is at the forefront of the play to put MSMEs and other big companies at the world stage at a higher level and then progressing. So now, let's go back to what it really means for MSMEs. I think the membership base of EPC is, I think, 60% MSMEs, which is the backbone of India's supply chain. And during the pandemic, this backbone took a heavy beating. There was not only capacity underutilization, it was capacity destruction. There's a difference between capacity underutilization and capacity destruction. So we'll have to now come out of this. And I think government, as Rahul has mentioned, has taken a big leap in terms of taking initiative to put technology, research, entrepreneurship at the center stage. And they have created a magnificent, digital ecosystem, which I think all of us should leverage. So now let's go back to the question, what it really means for MSMEs. It is an opportunity to revitalize demand. You see, the question is that where is the demand? Even if I invest, what do I do with the output? I must have a client, I must have a market. So there's an opportunity to revitalize demand. I'll tell you from how it's coming. When we're talking about G20 countries coming together, that contributes more than 75% to 80% of world's GDP. We have an opportunity of market space. And how do we do that? So revitalizing the demand and de-risking our own business models, because our local capacities, local demand has been stagnant. It is not growing. And internationalize and build the brand. So we're coming back to the brand, and which will give us the new revenue streams, which will drive sustainable growth and profitability. And the reason why this is going to happen is a lot of big companies like Rahul talked about Airbus, Boeing, they want to de-risk their supply chains because of the geopolitical developments. They want an alternative option to China. And that's where the opportunity lies. But we have some hard work and imaginative work, creative work before us to do that. It's not going to be easy, but we can do it. And the reason why we can do it is that we have the ability, the innovative Indian mind, which does very well abroad. But somewhere we lose that innovative capacity in India, isn't it? Somewhere we lose that. So we have that innovative mind we have to put to use and couple it with technology. So, and there is a tendency of deep globalization also coming. People talk a lot about globalization. Everybody wants to protect their turf. So we have to keep that in mind when we think more creatively and innovatively. And the drive for innovation has to be there also, going up the value chain and creating that competitive edge in such a manner that there is no option. And we have to be competitive in price as well as very creative. And that's the main source of sustainable competitiveness. So that's the picture, that's the opportunity. So what I'm driving is, what is the opportunity for MSMEs to look at technology now in a very different way and going up the value chain, focusing on value creation. Now the question comes, that was the what question, what it really means for MSMEs, what? First I put the picture in context. Second, what does it mean for MSMEs? The third is, how do we encash? Now the question is how? How do we do it? Very important thing is that we have to enhance the attractiveness of our value creation capabilities. Now I talked about two kinds of technology, soft and hard. So hard technology is the hard technology that we understand. The soft technology, that hard technology deals with capabilities and creativity. The soft technology is more about what would I say, compatibility. There's something called compatibility. I may be very good at doing things. For example, Lionel Messi, did very well when he played in the World Cup for Argentina. But somehow PSG, I don't know how many of you, follow football, but that best team all put together, Mbappe, then Messi, then Neymar, they're highly capable, highly creative, but they are not compatible. You understand what I'm trying to say? So similarly, the Indian work culture, the Indian ethos, the Indian style is more informal. We work on relationships, we work on trust. It's a very good thing. But if we go abroad, for example, the European companies, European countries, they're more formal, they're more systems driven. So formal and systems. So that systems is part of what I call this soft technology. Soft technology. That means, example, you're quality management system, environment management systems, systems for governance, ethics and governance, very, very important for them. So that's where the attractiveness comes in, and we have to be compatible with that. Otherwise, most of the international players who would be willing to give us an opportunity, even if we are creative, we might lose out on the compatibility. So hard and soft, both are important. Okay? Now the question comes, so it again comes back to branding. So combination of compatibility and creativity build the brand of MSME Inc. So from India Inc. to MSME India Inc. It's all about branding, starting with the aspiration and dreaming big. We don't want to be marginal players. We don't want to just supply. We don't want to just be available for sourcing at the whims and fancies of the large companies who can switch. So the risk is high. We must have that control, the strategic control as a partner, not just as a supplier. And we have to play as a component of a reliable, robust, and resilient supply chain. Once we have that resilient supply chain, then a lot of companies abroad would shift from China and come to us. We have to give them that assurance of reliability and resilience. So the next question, again, we further elaborate on how. So we have to now apply our creativity, the imaginative and very, Indian mind, and apply that creativity at all the levels, starting from product, process, as well as business. And technology again plays a role in every domain, whether it's a domain of product design. For example, nowadays very innovative ways of making products are coming out. Material science is becoming a very, very major factor. Lightweight materials, for example. Lightweight materials. For example, we are in dialogue, in fact, helping people create lightweight jewelry. Gold jewelry, alternative. So we are putting our minds to see some of the best R&D institutions, both in India as well as abroad in Europe, are working on that particular problem. Lightweight jewelry, just imagine, gold, replacing gold. So there are intricacies of formulations there. Material science. So innovate at all levels, products, process, and business. So innovation is driven at the level of product level, at the process level, at the business model level. And it all ties up to the bigger purpose of Atmanirbhar Bharat. When we build the brand and we create that niche positioning, people will be proud that this product has come from India. And we differentiate. We not just supply, we just differentiate based on our capabilities of creativity and innovation. And if we can align overall, like Rahul talked about societal projects, if we can align a brand to the purpose of larger cause, then the brand reinforcement is stronger. For example, Tata is a classic example. They make everything from salt to software. And through the salt, Tata has penetrated deep into the heart of Indian society. So that brand has gone very, very deep. So it touches everybody, whether they're making aeroplanes, whether they're making hotels, whether they're making cars, everything. So salt to software. And overall, they do many things. Cancer hospital and, n number of things, education, so on and so on. So we have to keep that kind of a model in mind, which is actually going to pay back on our business model, business branding. So you do branding together on the business front as well as the societal front and bring it together. And that's the way to build a brand. Now the fundamental problem is why invest in change? Because, MSMEs don't have too much of resources. Whatever support we can get from here and there, that's important. But at the end of the day, we don't have resources. We are struggling. It's difficult for us to reach out to customers. It is difficult for us to get good loans from the government, from the banks. We don't have, capacity to attract manpower, talent. So at the end of the day, what do we do? But what I say is that we start. We start by dreaming, and then let's get together and see how we can solve these problems. Every company, big company started as an MSME. Every big company started as an MSME, whether it is Tata or Reliance or Adani or Apple or any company you take. G, McDonald's, you know, sell burgers. Then Marriott, actually Marriott used to actually started by selling. Today the biggest, hotel chain in the world. So every company starts like that. So we should not limit ourselves by imagination and the drive. So let's start dreaming, and then let's put our heads together. We are there to help you with EPC and our fellow panelists to figure out the solutions for you. So why invest in change? Because see, nowadays the name of the game is the only constant is change. Surviving and thriving, we have no option unless we change ourselves. We cannot maintain the status quo. That's the simple logic. And in this environment of constant change, we must be resilient. That means if we fall, we must come back. And we must have the flexibility to adapt. So flexibility and resilience are the new DNA, I would say, of the new business, scenario. Without that, we can't survive. And that's the fact of a post-pandemic world. We are going to get shocks. The changes are going to be turbulent in nature. Not incremental, not predictable, unpredictable, and turbulent. So we'll have to gear up for that. We have no choice. And again, technology is going to be a major factor. It's an enabler as well as a disruptor. Technology has two sides of the coin, actually. It's an enabler as well as a disruptor. So you use the enabling powers of the technology to manage the disruptions and also create disruptions so that you can differentiate going forward and build your niche identity, which is your brand. So technology everywhere. So now I come back to what EBTC and RLSCMA is a little bit. See, EBTC was actually very interesting. It started in 2008, I think, as a funded project of European Union. And then they evolved into a company recently around, I think, 2012, 2010. And their mandate is essentially, to facilitate business in the India-EU corridor, facilitate technology partnership in the India-EU corridor. They work on special mandates and special projects. For example, they're working on Living Innovation Project in IIIT Hyderabad. So actually, they're creating an innovation ecosystem. It's an EBTC essentially is an ecosystem player. So what does EBTC bring on table? It gives you the reach, the market reach to the best European companies, the best European technologies. Of course, my fellow panelists would be elaborating more. They are more specific in their domains. They're representing Italy, they're representing France, they're representing Germany. But we are kind of an umbrella. We can bring together. We have no constraints. And all G20 countries, not only Europe, we can go beyond. So this is a little bit about EBTC, headquarters in Delhi. This is a little bit about resilient leadership and change masters. We also started during the pandemic in 2020, and we have faced the most severe change that could happen, I think, in this particular century, and we have learned from it. So who are we? We are a proven team of global C-suite executives with mission orientation. That's the key. We have all come together. We have distinguished scientists. We have former CEOs of some of the top brands, both locally and internationally. We have public figures. We have a couple of Padma awardees in our team. We cover education, we cover healthcare, apart from business. We have people from defense. We also have a scientist from NASA. So we have a very strong think tank. And we have the think tank along with the business acumen to guide. And we from our experience, we understand the challenges. We are hands-on. We are not theoretical people, we are hands-on. So our game essentially is that we are on two fronts we work. One is, helping leaders like you address sustainable change on one hand, prepare the organization for. So is that technology? So change, managing change, driving change, and revitalization of organizations. Hello, hello, yeah. So I was saying on two fronts we work, driving sustainable change, and the other front is organizational revitalization. When an organization in crisis, how to bring it back, stabilize it, and then take it forward. So these are the two fronts on which we work. And we use the three pillars of the organization, which is essentially technology, people, and process, to drive it. So capacity building is integral to the whole thing. And technology is the core, one of the core areas. As I mentioned, we have, of course, Madan will know more of it. Fraunhofer is one of the leading, R&D ecosystems in Europe. So we have a consortium with Fraunhofer to work on certain industrial technologies, which would be, I think, of interest to many of the companies in the engineering sector. And they essentially deal with how you can make your production systems more resource and energy efficient, number one. If you can, manage that, that saves you money, and also the carbon footprint. Lightweight material design, which I just touched upon, lightweight jewelry. So a lot of work in material science that's going on. This thing, efficient production, resource efficient production, one of the technologies is the 3D printing. And Fraunhofer has, they claim to have in one of the material areas, one of the fastest 3D printing now. So a lot of changes are happening. It's an old technology. 3D printing started around 20 years back, but it is maturing right now. And this is the time when you can have large-scale commercial adoption. It's a game changer. And then, of course, sustainable technologies which, which will aid the circular economy. So these are the three fronts on which we have started working with Fraunhofer. And we want to, gradually expand, and not only Fraunhofer, but others. And then we also have a alliance with what we call the European Lightweight Cluster Alliance. So there are groups of R&D institutions and companies who specialize in lightweight materials and their applications. So they have standard applications, for example, in automotive. So how can we, transfer applications to other areas? So a lot of, work is going on there. We also work with local, R&D institutes, the CSIRs, the DRDOs, the IITs. So we don't have any, inhibitions of working with any, institute that can, generate knowledge. So that's in brief what we are, and we would be very, glad to help you. And to actually help support MSMEs to hold the gains, we have created a structure. And this structure is actually called HERDS. It is called the Hotspot for Economic Resilience and Development of SMEs. It does all the stuff that I just now mentioned in brief. It gives you a structure, it's an ecosystem. Acronym is HERDS. And we also do what is called a PI assessment. We do a diagnosis in terms of how an organization is geared up to take on international markets. So that's a study we do, and then based on the study, we do a gap analysis and what are the interventions that are required. So we have PI need assessment study as well as we have an ecosystem called HERTS. So we have a structure for you, which is called HERDS HERTS. And under that umbrella, we would be very keen to have a dialogue through EPC and see how we can help your members. Thank you. Any questions? We'll address it later on then.
Thank you, Mr. Amit Chatterjee. We have learned a lot. It started with the DTPM, that is Dream, Technology, People and Market. So it started with the next level of increasing the value chain to a higher level of technology so that it can be utilized by MSMEs. And the focus he has been giving on capacity and capability building. That is the key word. So, and through various platform, various thought process, his organization is focusing in. So, he has spoken about flexibility, resilience, and then on latest technology, on lightweight manufacturing of products. So that includes also ornaments and whatever. Thank you very much. I now request Mr. R. Madan, Director, Indo-German Science and Technology Center, to give his deliberation. Please.
Yeah, very good afternoon to all. My name is Madan. I head the Indo-German Science and Technology Center at New Delhi. My focus will be on the topic for today, scope for technology alliance for the G20 countries. And I'll end my talk with an example of what my center has done. So I'll try to take just 10 minutes. So the Indo-German Center is jointly funded by both the countries, India and Germany. We get 8 million euros a year, and we put it into industry, academia projects. So we fund industries, we fund academia. So this is my slide. So I will focus, as I said, on scope of technology alliance with G20 countries. So that will be my focus. So I think when you talk about technology alliance, you're talking about few areas, but the key areas which come into play are research and development, innovation, engineering, and manufacturing. A lot of us get into the mode of technology alliance with only manufacturing or engineering. But if you look at the West, if you look at Europe, they will always talk of all these 4 areas, which is very critical. R&D and innovation is always a part of technology alliance. And then when you have such 4 major players, you have to talk of an inclusive approach. So the reason of inclusive approach is because you want to value add, you want to enhance, you want to make things better, and that happens only as an inclusive approach. And let me tell you what is the inclusive approach we follow at IGSTC. I will try to show it to you as G20 Technology Alliance. So if India is cooperating with another G20 country and many countries, A, B, C, D, and you have focus in ministries and then you have stakeholders in both countries. But you also have research institutions in both countries, very top level. Like in India, you have CSIR, as some of the speakers mentioned. You have DST, you have DBT, Department of Biotechnology. So, and then you have very advanced technical and applied science universities. Both the countries will definitely have this. So this landscape is very similar. And then you have startups and industries. So what happens today when you have an alliance, 1:1, you link with the two countries. But what IGSTC does, or what you need in an inclusive approach, is you should be able to connect from anywhere to anywhere and involve everyone. And that is very important if you're talking of an alliance, technology alliance within many countries or another country, a bilateral system. So instead of 1:1, you go in for a very combined, inclusive approach. The other very important aspect when we talk about an alliance with a country or many countries together is what are your focus areas and what is your expected outcome. So I think this is very important. And focus areas can be many, but today the world is talking globally. If you look at, they're talking about reuse, looking at how we can use the waste and create it to wealth. And that every country is looking at. And I think it's going to be a very important aspect for many areas like climate change, because you don't want to keep digging up your soil for more and more minerals, but you can use them if they're already there and going to waste. You're talking about AI, it's slowly creeping into MSMEs, SMEs in India, and world over it has creeped into most of the industrial areas. Very important. AI is one word, just artificial intelligence, but you have to combine with machine learning, you have to combine it applications to health, sustainability, and many, many areas in manufacturing too. In advanced manufacturing, AI is playing a very, very major role today. You are talking about sustainable development. Every country talks about it. Manufacturing leads at the end to a sustainable development with different products. And energy, climate change, smart manufacturing, and many more. So I think the focus areas are important if you're talking with a certain country or with a certain alliance. Other thing is, what do you want as an expected outcome? This is because you're collaborating. It's an alliance, and you want joint innovation. You'd like to have academia industry connect, and this happens very much in the Western world, in Europe. And I think that's something what India can learn when we go in for a G20 alliance. And that's the bigger picture. You don't want to work with another industry in Germany or in France, but you want to also start involving their universities, connecting our universities, so that the early career industry people, technologists, engineers get a chance to come and value add to our industry. This is very important. And I think we need to continuously network, not 1:1, many to many. Joint knowledge pools and capacity building are a part of the above. But finally, you have to facilitate this. I cannot talk about an inclusive approach, and somewhere the government or associations have to facilitate it. And how can you facilitate? You have to have programs to facilitate academia and industry to connect. Many of the success stories in Europe, in the West, are because they have masters and PhD students in their MSMEs also. How many do we have? Because we are manufacturing, they are value-added manufacturing, and I think India is really building up on getting very good PhD students into industry now, master's degree students into industry now, and I think that is what we need in more numbers. And for that, we need to have an academia-industry connect. And we need to provide industry that opportunity to take an invention to an innovation and then to a TRL, technology readiness level of 8 to 9. I think we need to give that push to industry so that they're not doing a mundane job, but doing something new and making them very interested and active, getting youngsters involved in this full flow of things. Providing networking platforms, very important. We otherwise interact, we are very good at 1:1, but I think networking platform brings the best out of us. Quick assistance, because many of the schemes, if you look at government schemes, they'll take you 6 months, 1 year, and by that time you lose interest. I think we should have very quick assistance schemes like the ones we have in the Indo-German Center. Mobility opportunities for the early career engineers and technologists. So I talked about this as general, but what we do at Indo-German Center is this. So this is the inclusive approach we have. We fund projects to industry and academia together. We have funding for workshops through networks. We also fund industrial fellows. We fund Indian students to go to industries abroad and come back and join your industry. We fund women scientists, technologists. We fund early career engineers and researchers. And we have something called SING, Small Immediate Need Grant. And we grant within 2 months. All the details are there on our website. I don't want to go through each one of them, but this is an inclusive approach which we have followed at the Indo-German Center. Please look at our website. We are really getting a lot of applications. We'll be happy to fund the needy. So what I will do is, I will end my slide. Can you back? I'll end my talk. I think I've taken 8 minutes. So by this interesting slide, which I always present. So the Indo-German Science and Technology has connected India and Germany. And these are the dots where we have funded all over India and Germany. So we are very well spread. That's because we were able to get an inclusive approach. It's not only industry, it is academia, universities, research institutes, PhD students, master's students, all over India and Germany, connected at different points all over. So thank you very much. So I hope I have given a very good perspective about the alliance partnership. I'll have questions maybe later, isn't it? Thank you. Or if there are, I can have them now. Thank you.
We can have questions after the session, as we are running a bit late. Thank you, Mr. Madan, for being very precise and to the point and completed it within the limited time. And may I request Mr. Chadda, Dr. Chadda, Director, Italian Technology Center, to come and deliver it.
Thank you for the patience, because I think we are a bit late. I think we are in a very interesting situation here. We have Mr. Shah as the chairman, past chairman, and the chairman of EEPC. We had a gentleman from the ministry who is already doing something on a government of India level. We have a bigger umbrella of the European community. We had the Indo-German. And now we come to a G20 specific country, which is Italy. So let me inform you that I have worked with the Italian embassy in the trade office for about 20 years. And apparently what we realized, that the industry was seeking something beyond the institutional approach. It was seeking something beyond the chambers of commerce and something where the business could happen. So we decided to set up an Italian technology center in Pune, which is a very important hub for mechanical engineering, automotive component sector. And you will realize a lot of industry is actually growing in that belt. And we wanted to be very central. So here we are with a different approach where, of course, funding, incubation centers, startups, you have many places. But here we have pure business in an institutional format. It is promoted by Italian association Zucimu, which is for the machine tool industry. We have for the Amaplast, which is for the plastic industry. We have the packaging industry. So what we tried to do was, we created a bridge between Italy and India where people could connect, sit, talk, and also do business in an institutional manner, where we could develop the confidence which was lagging among both sides. It's not only from the Indian side, but maybe also from Italy side, who were not very confident of what they could do in this market, what are the challenges, will they get a good partner, what are the end user requirements. So we tried to be solution providers with the actual companies which we could work with. So it's a network which we created. It's a joint program of collaboration. And in Italy, you know, there is already 8,382 network contacts at the moment, contracts. And we were part of this venture which started more than 10 years back. It's a 1-decade-old project where physically the companies become a part of it who want to do business with India. And these companies, on behalf of them, we approach the Indian clients, Indian companies, to understand what solutions we can provide for them. So these are the associations which I already highlighted. We started in 2011. We are now into 2023. It's more than a decade, which I have already spoken. Now, these are few of the active companies which are our members. You know, there is a company BLM which has been giving a lot of solutions on the tube processing machines, tube cutting, CNC cutting, and so similarly we have a Buffoli transfer machines which are for the volume production, where you need to do any kind of hardware parts, you need to do components where you need to do volumes. FICHEP has an office in India. They are already working with the processing of profiles and plates for steel and construction industry. Lorenzon is a typical example which also sources from India. They not only supply, but they are sourcing lot of things out of India. Losma is a unique example of air filtration systems, which is to be used in your industries, in your factory sheds, where you have a problem of smoke emission, where you have a problem of pollution. They have already set up their manufacturing facility in India near Pune, and Mill Utensil is in the die and mold spot pressing. So we have active members. We have active companies who call this office as their office, and they like that we communicate with the local partners, local companies, whether it is a technology alliance, whether it is a strategic alliance, whether it is even a solution providing for the local companies. That's where we come into picture. So there is a complete practical approach when we talk about our office specifically to Italy as one of the G20 member countries. So this is our office in Pune. I'm just quickly introducing you. So we have our team there. This is quickly, I'm introducing three of our members. Of course, I'm standing here as in front of you. Please go ahead. So what we promote here is the ITC trademark. We develop new contacts with Indian institutions. We don't work only direct business B2B. We work actively with EEPC, we work with some other associations like ACMA, with IMTMA. So the objective is that we need to find business here. We need to really conceptualize the business for the companies. We do market analysis, we do initiatives similar to these seminars, we do industry-specific events. We have been doing it in Delhi, Chennai, Pune. We have been shifting every year, and this has been very successful because people sit across the table to discuss business opportunities. And we do a lot of promotional events like participation into exhibitions and conferences. I think we have come for the first time in this event, and I am pretty positive and quite excited that next time I think our engineers should be here, because we find a good profile of Indian SMEs who are present and who are the real partners for the SMEs from Italy. You know, Italy, the backbone is SMEs, and there is a good sense of collaboration which can happen among the two countries. Go ahead. So these I have already elaborated what are our activities. It's a quick, can we go on further please? These are some of the events which we have done. We have our ITC booths in exhibitions. We use these platforms. We are present with this office just to give that confidence that you don't need to worry once you move through this office. We are there to help you, to coordinate for you, to look for what you're looking for in terms of your requirements. We do the annual event which I told you. This was recently done in Gurgaon in Delhi in December. We invited a lot of end users of equipment, plant, machinery who need solutions. For B2B meetings, we had a direct interactive session. EEPC was also present there. We had guest speakers from ACMA, from IMTMA. So here we are again, as I've been insisting from my first speech and first point was, we mean direct contact, we mean direct opportunities, we mean direct collaborations and alliances. This is just a small pictorial things of what we've been doing. We depend a lot on the active database. So this visit of mine here is going to be another step, and I would thank AEPC for this program, because I think there are a lot of companies which are present here which we do not find on many big exhibitions, which are generally quite expensive also for their participation. And here they are being funded partially by the government. They are subsidized. We have delegates from different countries. So I think next year we would request if EEPC could also have a special platform for organizations like the Indo-German, also for other activities, including our office. We would be very keen to have interactive sessions with the Indian industry. We would be happy to give them solutions. We'll be happy to give them a desk where they can discuss and look for what they need. So we also come out with a newsletter, which is every now and then we keep updating. If you are interested, we will take you into our loop. We are ready to take all your members also into this and keep informing you of our events and programs in this country. One important point is these companies also contribute in this office expenditure. So it's not that we need funds or we are trying to fund this affair. We are trying to see that we only have serious companies who are looking towards India for these kind of alliances. It's a contribution which they give to the office so that they remain active with it, they are coordinating on regular basis, and they also achieve something out of this office. So we have training periods in Italy. We have been also doing new client sales. Pre-sales technical assistance is what we provide. It's more like a call center which gives an answer to what you desire. We also research for agents in India at times when we have inquiries. We have a special website dedicated to our member companies where you can look for their details. And we also organize local visits to all these Indian companies for them. This is just a quick analysis of why foreign companies are investing in India. India is land of unlimited opportunities as well as one of the fastest growing economies. You know, the FDI figures are quite evident. We don't need to pull on that. India's economy is projected to grow at 6.7%. GDP rates are already public. The biggest point which we keep stressing, and this is a presentation also done in collaboration with our associations in Italy, the global maritime trade to move from Pacific to Indian Ocean is a very important point. It's a geopolitical move. And I think the Indian companies will have a brilliant opportunity to take up the technology to the right levels and work with Italian companies on this platform, because maybe, I don't say China is going to get cut off, but I think a lot of movement will happen towards India from manufacturing perspective. Connectivity to Central Asia and Europe via international north-south transport corridor, which is going to play a very important role. And India to have greater economic influence in the Asia-Pacific region. I think that's quite evident what we are seeing in all the forums where India is well represented now in the last few years. Please go ahead. A quick one, of course, a namaste to all of you, and with an office in Pune, you can always feel free to contact us. And once again, I thank you, all of you, to have given us your precious time. Thank you, sir.
Now I will request the participants, if they have any questions, any queries to make, any items to know, or any elaborations, they can free to ask questions to any of our speakers. If there are no questions to be asked, let me proceed for the vote of thanks. To just going through the session, which has been very interesting since morning, to summarize some of the important takeaway points. We had with us Mr. Rahul Kulshetra, who emphasizes on mainly three aspects of initiatives, major three aspects of initiatives which has been taken up by PSA, which was, one is the PM Council for Recommendation, second is the Future Technology Group, the Future Technical Approach, and the third is the Strategic Alliance, which he elaborated in his deliberation, which is mainly on collaboration, funding of technology, creating a platform, a common platform where industry, academia, startups, research organization can collaborate, give their ideas, and those ideas can be converted to meaningful application in industry. He also had spoken about the CSR funds, which was previously restricted to development activities. Now, also it has been, the area has expanded on a development area in R&D, which is giving sustainable growth to the industry. He has given a very important aspect of a platform, a digital platform called Manthan, which has been very extensive and exhaustive. And it was the first time we came to know about it, and we can all from all quarters of the industry, academia, research organization can utilize this to the best opportunity. We had then the next speaker with us was Amit Chatterjee, who focuses on the idea of increasing the value chain on the next level of quality improvement, which can help MSMEs to grow, not only to grow, but grow in a very fast rate. Speed is one of the very important factor. And for that, capability building is the prime keyword. He had focused on also reliability, flexibility, and resilience. We had with us the third speaker, Mr. Madan, who has focused on innovation and R&D, especially for MSMEs, on those areas of very specific and niche areas where MSMEs can really grow. So identification of the focus areas where the outcome should be very beneficial and business oriented. So it's a relation between the focus areas and the outcome. Converting waste to wealth is the fundamental focus on these areas. Networking was another issue, which networking not between one-to-one, but on various factors. Networking with the technical institutions, with the R&D institutions, with MSMEs, with associations, to have a joint effort to so that MSMEs in each and every spheres can grow collectively, which is very apt to the topic which we have emphasized on today. Dr. Chadda, on the last focus, no, he has also given an extensive elaboration of the type of activities where Italian Chambers of Commerce and Italian Center of Excellence, which they have established in Pune, which focuses initially mainly on machine tools and plastic products, but had expanded their role to other sectors also, networking, increasing of networking, and lot of, no, he believed in direct interactions with the MSMEs. That's why he also made a proposal to today that with a request to EEPC that if this type of activity happens again next year, year after year, so he wants a direct interactive session can be organized where his team can interact with the MSMEs of India so that the collaboration between Italian company and his offerings can be shared with our counterpart, and together we can grow. I am very find a proud privilege to have all of the dignified speakers with us. They have given their valuable time, their knowledge, their collective effort to share a very important topic which we have chosen for today. Thank you, all the speakers. Thank you, Chairman Sir. for organizing this program. And last but not the least, thank you all the audience for being very cordial, very attentive, and hope you have enjoyed the program. We have another session in the afternoon, and we request you to be there after the lunch session that is will start from 2 o'clock. Thank you. Acha, you asked the question. We'll request the speakers to please be seated. And after this question, we have a small recognition session. We'll be handing over a small gift item to 4 of our speakers. So please bear with us for a few minutes. Yes, sir. Please ask a question. No, give it to him.
Yeah, so we are talking about all these things. But how do we see today with competing with China, and how we are visualizing this to take out the dependency from China and work with the overseas customers? So how do you see this as on today?
I can give you a very specific answer in relation to Italy, because I started working for the Italians when India started opening up in 1992, 94. Definitely there was a advantage to China, because the world was looking for a manufacturing base, and a lot of countries were still not offering that kind of an opportunity, which China did. They took an advantage, they took a lead. But I personally feel the geopolitical situation always changes a lot of things on this globe. India was always competitive. India is still competitive. But I think India learned a bit late, but we are on track now.
Okay.
Especially if you see the kind of support we are getting from the government now, the incubation centers, the technology platforms, the financial support, and the real essence of industry evolving is the number. The numbers go up, volumes go up, the prices come down. I think we are gradually now maturing to that segment where we are going to see more numbers, better price, so that we compete with China, but we still lag on a couple of fronts. We are still not very quality sensitive. Unfortunately, we have a big internal demand that we are so happy to supply at a lower price, but we still don't go international to see what they require. So I think Indian industry also has to learn a few things. Quality is very crucial when we talk about price. But now worldwide, they are ready to pay something extra as long as we are able to do the right precision, right finish, even right packaging, I would say.
Correct.
We have a brilliant product so many times, but unfortunately not presented properly, or maybe not even packed properly. So I think we are now going towards that level of, I would call a next step of modernization, next level of upgradation at the right price and the right volumes. And of course, the government has to play an important role, which we are now, I personally feel it is hyperactive now.
Yeah, I think you're well said. Yeah.
Maybe, yeah, thanks. I think it's a very good question, and it keeps us thinking always. But as Mr. Chadda said, I've been closely associated with Germany. See, although everyone says Chinese products in the market, German products were always still there, although they were expensive. But Chinese products were able to spread over a larger area, but German products were focused, very quality controlled. So that's something maybe we need to learn, not only from the Chinese flooding of market, but also those people who are existing in spite of the Chinese market. So quality control, practical products, continuous value addition. So I think if we are just focused on that, you automatically come to the limelight. You need not compete with anyone. Germany does not compete with anyone. They just focus on these 3 or 4 things: quality, value addition, practical products. And I think if you're fully into that, you automatically need not see a competitor. You're there on top. That's one way I would look at that.
Okay, good. Okay, the truth is now, let me just put the truth. we have so many projects. In fact, my company has got so many projects, and I've got the biggest network in Indonesia. We need to appreciate, even though it's a different story. And today, the entire global overseas companies are talking about China heat map. The project is China heat map. So what does that mean? They want to exit China, and we are getting so many projects which our vendors or tier 1, tier 2 companies are not able to produce. They don't have the capability to produce. Again, they have to depend on Taiwan missions to get those SPM missions. These are the drawbacks which I'm saying, and how you would see right at this stage, keeping me as a case here to probably facilitate or enable us to get this kind of projects.
So it means your local vendors are not ready to bring the product to the level what US requires. Am I right?
Correct.
So it means the vendors, this is the platform where vendors are learning. It takes a decade for people from industry to also realize. Time and generations to develop. Our unfortunate part is our domestic segment only looks for cheaper products. And while the industry has an option to sell, they don't want to mature to that level where they or get an access to an overseas market. So 1.5 billion is a brilliant number to cater, but also a sad part is that with that market, we never try to see beyond our boundaries, which I think slowly is evolving now. Especially with the SMEs, there is a challenge. I know there is a funding required. The cost of capital is an issue. Like you said in your castings, there is an environment factor. Environmental issues are there. So I think environment issues will always remain if we don't adapt the new technologies.
Correct.
We need to adapt them. We can't close castings. It is not going to happen. But we need something better. So I think solutions which are linked in an economical manner, where our friend from the ministry who said that Manthan project, there are so many people in it. There's the Indian brain which is also trying to Indianize it. You will definitely have on the spot a challenge. But I think 5 years down the line, these challenges will reduce. It is going to evolve. Evolution has happened, and China took a timely advantage of no other market offering such a kind of funding, such a kind of supply chain. And I think their government also did a lot of overfunding to the companies. It was overfunding. So, there are a lot of politics behind this overfunding too, which I think India as a responsible nation hasn't played that kind of a role, and it has refrained from not doing things beyond certain international levels. Now, I imagine your frustration that you have a market and you would like to work with an Indian company, but you are not able to work.
No, the customers are open to work with me.
I know.
And we don't have a provision here to do that.
Yes.
And our suppliers don't understand what is the gravity there. So this is what is happening.
So these centers, when I said that Losma for one company which was part of us on the air filtration systems, they were bringing CKD, supplying. Suddenly they realized, we are fools, why should we do this? We have a good market here. Now why don't we manufacture? So they brought a European standard product made in India, which Indian industry is accepting because the price is competitive. And as per the international standards, it's an international product with local pricing. So I think organizations like EEPC, which is an export promotion body, will have a very important role to play to address to their member companies that you need to evolve, you need to change, you need to upgrade. So there is also a fear factor of SMEs. They have struggled for a couple of generations to bring their factories and industries to this level. It is their own physical money from the pocket.
Yeah.
The grandfather started, the son is doing it today. So the fear factor of a businessman and industrialist is bound to remain. I think slowly with the kind of new process of banks coming in, institutions coming in, fundings coming in, they will also start becoming more adventurous. I would say the right word to come to that level.
I think you missed that part of the presentation which I talked, There are three things. To sum it up, one is an aspirational aspect.
Okay.
Coming out of that, conservative mindset. The second is the capability issue. I think you are, dealing with the capability issue for that range of product.
No, the capability issue, and if you see the Trade India and India Biz, everybody is trading China.
Third, let me come.
Everyone is trading
Now,
from China.
the third issue is actually compatibility. It is just like you have Messi winning the World Cup for Argentina single-handed, but PSG is struggling with all the three stalwarts: Mbappe, Messi, and Neymar playing together. So the same issue is that the businesses abroad don't find Indian companies, especially the MSMEs, attractive enough. And they see the risk of doing business is high because the systems are not in place.
Okay.
China did that very fast because see, that's a different kind of a regime. They can implement things faster than what we do. So democracy has its disadvantage, but attractiveness factor is the third thing. So you have aspirational, you have the capability factor, and you have the attractiveness of the compatibility factor. So the Neymar, Messi, and Mbappe, they're not compatible with each other. So that's causing the coordination is an issue. They don't have a system to win. So we need to put a system to win and bring the MSMEs up. We have such a structure under EBTC, European Business and Technology Center. It's called HERTS.
Yeah.
It's called Hotspot for Economic Resilience for Development of SMEs. So we're putting together an ecosystem to address this capability issue, the compatibility issue, as well as the aspirational issue. So these are the three things to sum it up. So China did that, they got the capability, first they got the aspiration was there. It was forced anyway. They are not. Second was the compatibility. They got the systems again enforced fast.
Correct.
And then they went into the creative side, which is the capability, more innovation and all. So the emphasis on innovation and research. Research and technology-driven innovation. They're the leaders in AI today. You know that.
Yeah, I think that's something that we should focus.
They are the leaders in AI.
Mr. Shah has something to add, I think.
AI application of AI, not core research in AI, but the application of AI.
What I'm trying to say is we should also bring that drive.
Exactly. All the three angles into the aspirational,
Something missing.
the aspirational, the capability, as well as the compatibility. So the order would be aspirational, compatibility, capability. And we don't have time. We're going to lose
Typically a EEPC patient.
No, see, see, we are forgetting how China developed. China had American companies, European companies coming lock, stock, and barrel with their own managers come in. They gave them the land, they told them, do what the hell you want, we'll support you. But is India open to it because it will kill the MSMEs? So it was a different ecosystem. They didn't have the capabilities. They got the Americans, the Europeans, they came lock, stock, and barrel.
Correct.
Then, if the quality was not right, the quality manager would be shot. So, we want democracy, we don't want government interference. You can't have both things together. We are living in a democracy, so we have to see that, that process, due process is followed. It's a big elephant to turn. But like say drones, now government of India is wanting drones developed. So what it is doing, it has put a lot of duty on the Chinese product. So now the ecosystem will develop. We'll have the backward integration, Now they're also investing in manufacturing of chips, so semiconductors. So, it's up to the government can do a lot of things, but the change is difficult in a democratic process. Because if we have the Americans, the Europeans come in and say, hey, if the government gives land free, do you think there will be no protest? Believe me, we will not be able to function one day. So it's a completely different ecosystem we are talking about. But here everything, government is not subsidizing you. How many banks have failed in China for the casting units or the forging units? You're right. The quality of, how many foundries have China closed since, Olympics? All of them were below par than India also. So the good and bad quality exists everywhere. The Chinese product coming into India, do you think they're the same quality that's going into Europe or US?
No, that's a
No. So, good and bad quality exists. In India, it exists in China. But, again, the number of manufacturers are less because cost of capital is high in India. Government will only do so much. They are not going to go out on a limb and tell you, hey, we'll fund you, and then have banks fail. They are not going to do that. So we have been very cautious. We have gone, look at Bharat Forge. Bharat Forge, when they invested in automation, that company was about to go bankrupt. But today, even the German companies, when they came to Bharat Forge, they said, we learned from you because you're having the best practices. So it's not that India does not have the ecosystem, but people are more careful because it's their own money and not the government money online. That's all I wanted to add.
In the end, I just wanted to say one thing, like what has happened, our forefathers started with agriculture, and when industrialization started, we forgot to go to the manufacturing and we directly jumped to the service sector. So that's why that gap is there, and government is pushing a lot, and you are hearing every day a lot of PLI schemes are there. Why it is coming out? To support our manufacturing sector to export up to that quality and also to level also. And everywhere means it is happening. If you talk about all the programs of multiple ministries, everybody is talking about indigenization, what it means, the capacity development and capability development of industry. That's what. So everything is going on, but it will take a time because there is a big gap which had happened actually.
No, you see, that's a very good point. Today, getting talent into manufacturing is an uphill task. The best institutions in India, the engineers that they produce, they go get into software. It's very difficult to get a core engineer in mechanical, electrical, civil today.
Right.
That is the state of affairs.
A lot of engineers, but he rightly said the core ones we are still missing.
I would put it in a different way. We have engineers trained by all the institutions who take CPET, NDTF, GDTC, whatever it is, but they are not able to clear the campus interviews.
No, they are not.
And industries are still having the gap because of we people like me, we brought some technology and we are not able to implant it into the academics.
So that is also another challenge which we are facing. It's skilling.
I myself
And
faced
that's
it
one.
when I came
So
out.
skilling is, and when see China, why they are, because they have utilized their demographic dividend very well. Now it is for India when our demographic dividend is going on. So we have to focus on skilling a lot and see what is industry demanding. So that's where the collaborations with industries and academics is very important, so that they get a on-job kind of learning and the impact. That is very.
Probably I think I need to work with you, all of you guys.
Get in touch 1:1.
You have a question?
We have one question.
Question may be small, the answer may be big. Like anyway. Yeah. Please.
Friend's query. Actually, I'm also coming from a similar kind of manufacturing sector, and my company is also coming under the MSME group. But and I'm handling the exports for my company. Okay, and we cater around the oil and gas, chemical, then pharma industries. Export mainly into the oil and gas industries. Right, my friend said that Indians make in India, it is not been accepted yet, but it has been improved. If you consider 5 years, 6 years earlier, it has improved that yes, make in India. But the reason it has been improved is that everyone has started boycotting China products, or even the raw materials they are specifying in the tender documents that made in China, made in Ukraine materials are not to be included. Now when they are coming to Indian manufacturers thinking that okay, if China is not accepted, Indian manufacturing prices will be less. So they are coming to India and they are taking our products. But for which we small companies, we have to go take our ISO 9000, ISO 14000 as per the latest terms, then only our products will be accepted. Now company is investing in ISO and 14000, so obviously our product cost also goes high. Now US companies, they are taking our products, they are asking us to reduce the cost. Then how do, and also we have to maintain the quality also. Quality also, we cannot go to China and take the raw materials, for which we have to import from Japan, Korea. Yeah, somewhat China also. Yeah.
So we don't have any option.
Yes. So.
Yeah, it's going to.
Yeah, rightly said. It is a transition phase.
Remember, this is a democracy, that is communism. What they need overnight is done. What we need
We should look at Jack Ma. He was in news every day, one of the richest men. One day, government of China decides and is gone, and we don't hear much about him. So we are talking about a different ecosystem altogether.
This adjustment will come. Even the overseas companies will realize if they have to shift towards India, there is a cost for them.
Right.
And this is very geopolitical. I repeat, I repeat, and I repeat. When they need to transit, when they need to develop another market, when they need a product from another market, that transition takes its own time. And they will automatically get adjusted. When you got adjusted to too cheap a product, everybody was haywire and very happy. Remember, now the market will also get adjusted. It's not going to remain the way it was.
Slowly
it was
it is
dumping,
being,
I repeat.
right.
China was dumping. India has never been dumping.
Yeah.
Only my request to government would be that some flexibility in order for a smaller company to grow up for getting the certification, various certifications required in the international market. If they can subsidize those
EPC could play an important role, like
Right.
you're doing for the export documentation, you are subsidizing. Here's a very valid point.
so that way, at least the companies can, like he is from the automotive sector, he can improve his quality of the product also. If those certification costs required in the overseas market is being considered.
No, these certifications, you can hire some people
No.
with a fixed standard rate.
No,
Even I think there's some.
there's a scheme. There's a PLA scheme
schemes are there.
where you get 50% reimbursement of the fees, of the consultancy fees for implementation of ISO certification.
So there are some MEI schemes which
MEI
are there.
schemes are there.
Market Access Initiative. Under that, there's some schemes are there. So, please look it up on EPC website. And if there are any suggestions, we'll be more than happy to approach the government to see how we can be enablers. That's our job.
But quickly, I'll summarize something. I started working with the Italian embassy in 1994. I used to see so many Indians being sponsored by them on the other side to be taken there to buy their technology, do this. I'm seeing now for the first time that we have so many foreign delegates here, sponsored by the government of India, to bring them and showcase the industry. So this is a process, it's a transition. It's actually now happening. They are air sponsored. So many delegates from Africa, they are paid for the air tickets, they are state cost. I think we are evolving. We need to accept certain period for
And again, see, we might not be competitive in 10 million parts, but come 100,000, we will be more competitive than China.
Exactly.
Believe me, it's just what number game we are playing. China might be competitive in. No, that's why I'm saying we might not be competitive in that area, but medium volume and small volume, India is by far competitive. Because I'm also working day in and day out with Germany, with Italy, Poland, US, all the developed world. Small and medium volumes, we do very well. But when it becomes large volume with dieselmatics, say, are running, we don't have, how many dieselmatics do we have in India? You can count in your hand. So it's a complete different ballgame. We have to look at our core competency, because I think C.K. Prahlad, who mentioned, I think you mentioned C.K. Prahlad, and there's a book, Core Competency. So we have to look at our own advantages and leverage that. Because otherwise, and then we'll grow. You will be doing 100,000, then you'll go to 1 million, then 10 million, maybe 100 million.
I think the point is we should not compete with China on volume, not on quantity. We should have certain very niche areas where we should actually position ourselves.
That's what I'm trying to say.
That value addition, going up the value chain, and using technology as a driver there for innovating and sustaining that innovation. The other thing is look at Maruti Suzuki. That's another important thing. As an example, they developed the whole supply chain. They invested. The Americans, when they went into China, and the others who went to China, invested a lot. Because China gave them the infrastructure and the freedom. That's what Anupamji said. So the initial investment was there of these companies. Nobody else is invested in India. GM has gone out, Fiat has gone out. Ford is on the verge of going out. They have not invested. They don't see India's attractiveness, the potential, the future. So that's what we have to change with those people. Why don't you give your card?
You said Maruti. Maruti gives the car at low price and then he takes it to space.
Pardon?
He gives the car at a low price and then he calls all the customer for services and then he hits in the space.
We'll have
Space market.
we'll have a small presentation ceremony. Okay, I will request Mr. Shah to hand over.
Maruti is leveraging economics of scale now. Oh yeah, very interesting. They invested a lot. But they are
Mr. Rahul says.